Hey everybody, it's JT. So I have got a device review for you today. The folks at Beyond Vape sent over one of their newer projects for me to check out, and gonna talk about the Tandem 75 watt TC mod, again, by Beyond Vape. This thing's pretty cool. We'll do some close-up stuff so you can see better, but it's what they call a side-by-side design. Basically, you've got, it's made for use with 22 millimeter. You could use a smaller diameter tank, but really made for a 22 millimeter tank, and it's offset. So you get a really cool form factor. That is a really cool thing to me. I'll be honest, I'm kind of picky, and a lot of times I don't use tanks. One of the reasons is form factor. If I've got a box mod, even a smaller box mod, I like to put a dripper, a rebuildable dripping atomizer on there. It's low profile, that's just my style. When you put a tank on there, you know, all of a sudden you've got your device, but you've also got 3 or 4 inches sticking up. That's what she said. You know what I mean? So we'll start from the top. It's aluminum housing, comes in black. Inside you've got a 3200 mAh LiPo battery, and you've got the Athena 75 watt with temperature control board. So that's what's running things. Micro USB to charge your battery, and also it says in the booklet for updates. So, updates in the future? Guess we'll see. The screen is nice, easy to read, even in a little bit of sunlight. That's good for me. You've got a fire button at top, up and down button at the bottom. Low profile. I like the buttons, a little bit clicky. I will say, they rattle just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot, most people won't mind at all. But your tank is protected. You've got your 510, like I said, is offset down here. And you've got a pretty nice tank guard, which is really, really cool. Again, the same aluminum material kind of protects your tank, but there's still holes so you can see your juice levels. Because it does have temperature control capabilities, the lowest resistance you can run, listed by Beyond Vape, is 0.05 all the way up to 4 ohms. And the temperature range is 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 600. 75 watts maximum. Now I want to take this second to bring up a different product. So there is a product on the market called the NV22. At a glance, looks the same. The NV22 comes in a couple different colors. The Tandem is only black. The NV22 has a very similar board. I think it's called the NV22 board. But Beyond Vape wanted to make some changes to that board, so that's what the Tandem is. The NV22 is still a 75 watt temperature control device. The folks at Beyond said the temperature control mode was a little bit unstable on the NV. One other thing, the NV, when you adjust the wattage up or down, you can go by 1 watt increments, and on the Tandem, you can dial it in by the 10th of the watt, you know, 33.3 watts, and so forth. The NV22 is a little bit cheaper, and the Tandem 75 TC retails at $85. So I wanted to mention it in case you've seen this out there. The NV22, it's not a clone, nothing like that. It's just a different device. Beyond Vape wanted to make some changes, and so that's what they did with the Tandem 75. They also mentioned that they will have a 510 adapter coming up pretty soon. And that will bring your 510 connection up to the top, allowing you to run a rebuildable dripping atomizer that you really couldn't do now because you wouldn't be able to reach the drip tip. So far, I have only tried maybe 3 to 4 different tanks on this device. I have gotten a lot of use out of the Hurricane tank on this mod, the Monster V3, my K-Funds, and also I grabbed an Arctic tank, sub-ohm tank. It fits very well too. You will notice that some tanks are just different heights, and you might need to think of that when you're choosing a drip tip, or you might need to change your drip tip depending. On some, I have to use a longer drip tip to really make it a comfortable vape. I really didn't use, and on the whole, I use very few tanks. So this mod has been excellent for me. It has encouraged me and given me the ability to use a tank again or more often and still have a nice compact setup. It's easy to throw in my pocket, easy to put in my book bag, easy to charge on the fly. So it's not a really big deal, but I do notice usually my middle finger has the tendency to kind of block my air holes. Not a huge deal. I get it. Just something I've noticed. Beyond Vape card. Please avoid placing fingers in areas outlined in red. This area can be hot to the touch when used with sub-ohm tanks. And basically it's just giving you a quick warning for exactly what I was saying earlier. You know how I sometimes cover up my air holes? They're saying that part of your tank might be a little hot, just to be careful. So one of the other modes that this device has and it offers is a bypass mode. And where it doesn't work as a mechanical, right, it does function as an unregulated device and will fire down to a 0.2. So you're just running off the battery, no regulation at all, but there is that bypass mode. I don't use it ever, but it's there if you need it. And hey, we'll do some close-up real quick. So let's get a quick couple pictures and a little bit of video of what this thing's all about. We'll come back and wrap this thing up. Okay, so let's look at the Tandem 75TC up close. There is your box. You will open it up. Get some Beyond Vape social media information, and there's the unit itself. Pull that out, set it to the side, and pop this out, and then this other trap door. And normally you would find the user manual and again the little card here with the warning on the back and a USB cable. Mine is missing because I use it. And so there's the mod. Like I said, nice, compact, fits good in the hand. As you can kind of see, the screen's nice and bright. You can probably hear a little bit of the button clicky, and see, not a lot of button rattle, but a little bit is there. And of course the up and down buttons are there at the bottom. Micro USB at the very bottom there. Athena in this corner. Beyond on the other side. And there is the, place where your tank goes. 22 millimeter. Everything fits really nice and snug. And again, your tank section is protected here. I'm going to throw in the Hurricane just for a little reference for you. And that's what you get. And with this specific tank, it's really, my front air hole is exposed and my second air hole is still exposed right there, peeking out of the corner, but still get excellent airflow. Even if your air hole is not exposed, if it's back here, there is a little gap to allow for some airflow. If you're really paying attention, you might notice that it hampers your airflow a little bit, but it's still getting through there. Again, the tanks I've used have been really great. And that's how it looks. You'll see the Hurricane sticks up a little bit, allowing you to really use any drip tip you want. Some tanks will be a little shorter, and you might have to use a longer drip tip according to your style and preference and all of that good stuff. Did want to mention this again. This was included in the box. Warning, please avoid placing fingers in area outlined in red. This area can be hot to the touch when in use, especially with sub-ohm tanks. And I mentioned in the video, this is kind of a, my middle finger naturally wants to land in that area. And basically it's for me, it's pretty easy to keep my finger away from there because I'll block off my airflow if I don't. But just that's a little warning they put in. I just wanted to kind of show you. For a lot of people, that'll be where your middle finger will rest. So, you know, don't burn yourself. Be safe. But that's a quick look at the Beyond Vape Tandem 75 TC. Overall, I'm a big fan of the Tandem 75 TC. I have not used it very much in temperature control mode. I want to make sure I bring that up. I just haven't had the time, haven't put it through the paces in temperature control mode. I will say that for temperature control vaping, I really prefer the DNA board. So that's the only reason I haven't thoroughly tested this in temperature control mode. I would look out for other reviewers that will probably tackle that angle. Do a little research, but overall I'm impressed with the board. I like Beyond Vape as a company, but this device is pretty cool, great price point, great form factor, and I've really enjoyed it a lot. Thanks everybody, see you next time.